here we are with
Constantine Maroulis
and Kendra Erika.
And you have some exciting news to tell us.
Yes, As Long As You're Mine, our new collaboration has released today.
September 14th.
September
That's right.
14th.
September 14th. People of Earth, pick it up.
Yes.
We love the Broadway. I've done a lot of work here on the Broadway. Kendra and I hooked up for this collaboration. One of the great songs from one of the great contemporary musicals of all time, Wicked. Who doesn't love Wicked? Stephen Schwartz, Idina Menzel, Chenoweth, the icons. This is a great song, a great duet.
Yes.
That we put out, As Long As You're Mine.
And it's even steamier when you have that sort of BPM dance heat to really elevate it.
Heat, so much heat.
So much heat.
This one, the red, the fire.
Uh-oh.
Well, you got the fiery red hair. And it's wicked good.
That's right, yo.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love the way it starts out so symphonic, so you're kind of lulled, and then all of a sudden it starts taking off, and the next thing you know, you're jerking around in your seat and you're bouncing around. It's it has a lovely build.
Oh, wow.
Jerking around, lovely build. There's so much to say. There's so much going on. That was the objective, right?
That was the objective for sure. And now just hearing in person from you, your excitement is like telltale for everyone that's going to be listening to this.
It's infectious.
Yes.
And not in a bad way. Not an infection.
What made you pick that particular song, and what made you think it would make a great dance beat? Because it does.
Something told me to choose this song and put a dance spin on it, and I really do feel I made the decision of a lifetime.
A lifetime. I like that.
And
Great lyric. It's a great lyric. There's a great dynamic of a relationship. Not so much just between lovers, but two people that really need each other. And especially in a time like this, where artists have been through so much and the shutdown has devastated our world, we need each other, and this community has always lifted each other up. So we sort of celebrate them with this track. Yes, we bring a bit more of a sexier sort of vibe to the song as we take it out of context. Well,
it needs it.
It's not. We're not playing the characters from Wicked or anything like that. It goes to show how well crafted these songs from Wicked are, and how they can stand on their own as wonderful just pop songs or dance tracks. I think you've seen that with Hamilton, where they put out the mixtape and all these huge stars re-recorded songs from the show, and it just holds up. And the same with Wicked. It's an iconic title, and who doesn't love a little Wizard of Oz in their life? But we love the lyric about lifting each other up and just being there.
There's this desirability factor in the song itself, and there's a yearning for that sentiment in today's world, especially in the juncture that we're in. Everyone is searching for that intimacy again, and I'm sure you are as well. We're very we feel humbled and we're grateful to provide that in such a thrilling way.
Yeah, for sure. We all need the escape of the musical theater, and to sort of have an extension of that by taking one of the songs out from a beloved show and showing it to the world in a whole different way. It's exciting. It's exciting. We're getting to do a lot of cool stuff, considering we've been shut down for basically 2 years. So this is just the start of it, and the response has been wonderful. There's a video that's going to come out from our time in the studio as well. And
just brace yourself.
And live musicians. It's an EDM dance track, but we had great live musicians on it. We recorded it at Flux, one of the most iconic New York City studios, Grammy-winning studios there is. And Giuseppe killed it. Rob Evan, Broadway star, he killed it. And great people.
All
great people.
Great people.
Terrible.
But you put out So Fly in the time of COVID, using Zoom, and you couldn't even tell. You thought it was like a regular music video that we get all the time. And you did bite-sized Broadway musicals in this time, so you guys have been very busy.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, that bite-sized Broadway musicals. I put out a full-length record as well, Until I'm Wanted, my sophomore album. It only took 10 years to put out another record. Not an optimum time to put out music, but I think everyone was yearning for content. Kendra's been great about keeping her fans satisfied with, just enough content, and now that we're opening things up, she's got big plans for a lot more music as well, right?
Yes, I have an album in the works. However, what it's going to sound like is all up to moi.
Ooh,
it's all up to moi.
A woman in control. I like that.
Because that's what we're getting back to. We're getting back to that independent sense of who an artist actually is, and elevating that and enhancing that, and finding those uncharted territories and really going full-fledged with them.
Full throttle.
You know what? I couldn't help, because one of the lyrics, of course, they mention in your song is "moment," and you were Jekyll and Hyde, and I thought it would be fun to couple it with "This Is the Moment."
It definitely crossed my mind, and Rob Evan, being one of the great Jekylls that there was the first time around with Jekyll and Hyde on Broadway in the 90s. He first did it out of town, then on Broadway, then he took over for Bob Cuccioli. So we go way back in the Frank Wildhorn sort of, bench of talented, leading men. He far more talented than me. But, it crossed my mind in the studio, and I was like, I don't want to jack this whole thing up right now, but maybe a remix with "This Is the Moment." That could be pretty cool. I think people would really love that. And "This Is the Moment," one of the all-time greatest musical theater songs, certainly from the contemporary canon ever. It's been done in so many different languages and all over the world, and I often call it "This Is My Mortgage." So Frank and I are dear friends. Wildhorn, he would love you. And he's doing some of the best writing he's ever done right now at 60. Young man. He's lost all this weight. He's got this young, hot, beautiful Japanese star of a wife. And he is writing some of the best stuff ever. He's got all these new shows coming, and we're planning to bring back maybe even Dracula, or maybe Scarlet Pimpernel, or maybe, some other things.
Very crimson shows.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, So Fly has sort of a vampire-ish feel to it. So have you thought of doing Broadway?
So this is just a little seed being planted, I believe. But we have no other choice but to plant as many seeds so that things can grow.
Yeah, because I think you guys should do an entire album of taking Broadway show tunes and turning them to dance numbers.
That could be cool.
Because, a lot of the times, I'm a kitchen dancer. You're a bathtub singer. I would take all these Broadway musicals and dance around my kitchen to them. But this is even better because it actually has a dance beat.
The fact that this interview has just turned into a brainstorming session.
We could do a Rock of Ages joint. You know what would be great? Shadows of the Night into, when Sherry comes out and all the hot dancers out on the street of the sun, dun, dun, I've been waiting for a moment that never ends of the sun. That could rock. Shadows of the Night, that could be really cool. We're running with the shadows of the night.
Yeah.
Baby, take my hand, be alright. You and I, we could do that one.
And
I like
Slaughter
this.
on 10th Avenue.
Ah,
That's
okay.
my favorite one to dance to because it's got a whole story to it.
That's true. That's true. Well, you know, that's the thing
And you
about
can
musical
die
theater.
in it. And it's always fun to die in
We like to
things.
die, just on stage, not in real.
No, but I mean, it's so dramatic.
And then come back to life.
That's right.
Exactly. Get reanimated.
Jesus Christ Superstar, you could do that. I don't know how to love him. The thing about musical theater is it does lend itself really well to a pop song, you know, because there is usually this built-in narrative, right? It's usually a relationship-driven lyric, you know, not usually, but often you can find those. So when you pull them out of context of the original piece, they play really well. And same with pop songs from like the 80s and 90s, because I think why Rock of Ages worked so well is because a lot of those songs were written to accompany like the MTV video, you know, sort of concept that was going on. And you kind of wrote songs so that you could have a video, and you had videos that so you could have songs playing on MTV, and you know, it was like this whole thing.
Well, in the 80s, especially, the pop and dance songs had a lot of visually aesthetic lyrics to them, and they painted a picture, much like Self-Control, which
yes,
I added a little signature to it as well. And
it was always like a Bonnie and Clyde, like boy meets girl, girl meets boy, you know, kind of thing, right?
And then that wonderful artist in Self-Control.
Oh, well, there was Raph, and then there was Laura Branigan, and then there was this girl named Kendra Erika. But yeah.
For the Kendra version, of course.
Oh, but yeah, it's bringing that sort of anthemic dance nuance to any song or any project is you know, it's very trailblazing.
In fact, I mean, there's a history of it. Ethel Merman did a disco album.
Didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's interesting to say the least.
I'll have to put that on my to listen list.
There's no business like show business. Got it.
Yes.
That could be pretty cool. I can see a little deep house version of an Ethel Merman track happening. Like it's very loungy. It lends itself well to like a speakeasy type situation and scene.
Well, we're in such a covers hungry pop sort of, I don't know, culture right now. Bands like Postmodern Jukebox, I love them, and I got to work with them and tour with them a bunch, taking pop songs and flipping them in like a sort of 1920s, 30s, 40s kind of jazz way. The world of shows like American Idol and the other shows where you're taking original songs and kind of making them your own. Some of the best shows on television, scripted shows or movies, often are promoted with like a song that you've heard before but completely deconstructed. You know, there's a lot of that happening right now, basically everywhere. I think that and with the explosion of TikTok, where people are kind of doing their versions of songs, you know, and even Smule, I do a lot with Smule. It's a karaoke app that's massive all over the world. Ooh. And people kind of doing their own versions of these classic songs, that in a way there's more of an appetite for that than like brand new original songs.
Yeah, because there's that pastime sense, there's that familiarity, and especially in a day and an age that people want to stay rooted, but at the same time they want to branch out and see the ways of tomorrow. It's a great convergence of the two worlds.
For sure. Also, I painted this for you. I don't know if you can look at it. Yeah, that's
there.
for you. That's for you. Just a little something I threw together this morning.
Well,
It shows the many possibilities.
Yeah, it's just basically my brain right now.
I think it's all of our brains at
Yeah,
this
it's
point.
true.
Well, it's all the colors are going to explode when we all listen to this and
Good.
get back to Broadway and everything else.
Well, thank you. Thank you for, your support, and I hope you check it out. As Long as You're Mine, available on all platforms, exclusive on theatermania.com, SoundCloud, and on our social media too.
And
Isn't there money going towards something? There's some charity involved?
I've had a
isn't there?
long relationship with Broadway Cares, so I was so happy that Kendra, without even really chatting about it, wanted to give a portion of the proceeds to Broadway Cares, an amazing organization. Not only what they do with Broadway Fights AIDS, but the Phyllis Newman's Women's Health Initiative, the Pediatric AIDS Foundation, the Actors Fund, helping young struggling artists, really at any age,
it just
get
speaks
back on
to
their feet.
well-being.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We've been hit hard. Everyone has, all over God's green earth, but particularly the arts have been, beat up pretty good these last couple of years. So we want to do what we can to help our colleagues out, but really this is a celebration about getting back to work and Broadway being back. So check it out. I hope you love the song. I hope you go see a show today.
I agree. Thank you.
Get
Thank
your
you.
tickets today.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get my ConstantineMaroulis.com and Kendra.
And KendraErika.com. Just Google me.
That's it. Just give it a little Gaga.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome.